So you found yourself in Kailua and you want to make a day of it? There's about a million things to do here, but we've narrowed it down to 8 specifics. But first, Taz is going to tell you about where we are and how we got here.
Okay, so Kailua is a beach town on the east side of Oahu, just outside the Marine Corps base and just north of Waimanalo. From town side, there are a few roads that will bring you here through the mountains. The Pali Highway is the most direct, and that allows you the bonus option of stopping in at the Pali Lookout. There's also the H3, which has quite a view of its own, but if you are traveling by moped, you cannot take any of these roads. No freeways, no Lanikai Highway, no Pali Highway. If you are coming here by moped, you must use Highway 72, which goes around the coast. We have a whole video about that ride and all the places to stop. Link below if you haven't seen it yet, because this video pretty much picks up where that video left off. So, moped, Highway 72. Once you leave Waimanalo, you'll kind of go uphill and around a curve. The road will open back up to 4 lanes, and we recommend turning off into the Enchanted Lake area of Kailua, which is basically the first 2 intersections after the road opens back up to 4 lanes. And this is where the drive gets interesting. You see, Kailua town has a few small pockets of commercial area, but it's dominated by very densely packed suburbs, and its grid is heavily distorted by all the canals, beaches, and hills that surround it. So it's pretty easy to get turned around. Kailua has a few miles of beach, but it's all hidden behind several rows of houses. So most people are gonna end up down here at the main beach park, where you will find our top 3 things to do in Kailua, basically all right next to each other. For a quick little half-day adventure, start with an early morning hike up the Pillbox Trail, watch the sunrise over the Mokes, get some breakfast, and hit the beach. Kailua Beach is a lot sandier, more open, better for just bobbing around, and the canal is popular with paddlers. Lanikai Beach is much smaller and has more reef, making it better for snorkeling. Today we are here to snorkel Lanikai, but due to some semi-temporary parking restrictions in Lanikai, we are gonna get there by paddleboard from here at the Kailua boat ramp. Speaking of parking in Lanikai, go to this website, lanikaiassociation.com. They did a really great job of putting out all the information that you need to know to stay out of trouble. It's how we knew that we weren't gonna be able to park there today. Okay, so you don't actually need a paddleboard to get to our snorkel spot. You can walk over there from Kailua, but don't try and swim there. The area between Kailua and Lanikai Beach is the approach pattern that boats use coming in and out of the boat ramp, so not a safe swim.
All right guys, so let me introduce you to our paddleboards for the day. These are our inflatable paddleboards. If you want to know more about these in depth, we do have a video in the link in the description. All right guys, so we got the boards. They're both inflated. We're heading out into the water. As we make our way around here, we're going to be heading to Lanikai Beach. As you can see, the wind has picked up a bit here from when we got here at 7 this morning. It's going to be a tough paddle into the wind. Not going to be horrible. Okay guys, so I just got to the beach, Lanikai. Beautiful day as always. This beach is going to stretch for about 100 yards. Taz is out there snorkeling right now. I'm exploring the beach. I'm gonna go look for some rocks. Now let's check in with Taz, see where he's at.
So a lot of people list Lanikai as kind of a popular snorkeling spot. Personally, I don't like it. It's a little too shallow, it's a little murky, but if you've never swam in tropical waters before, you'll probably really like it. The spot we're going to today is just off of the main beach, and it's covered in all of these little cabbage patch corals is what I call them. And you'll know if it's healthy coral by the color. If it's white, it's bleached, that means it's dying. If it's covered in algae, that means it's already dead. And if it's got nice color to it, then that means it's nice, good, healthy coral. Around here, you're gonna see lots of little baby fish swimming around. At low tide, a lot of the coral will be poking up out of the water, so make sure you're not running into that. One more thing, all of the offshore islands that you see are either restricted access or off-limits bird sanctuaries. It's a whole thing with rentals and permits, but the easiest way to stay out of trouble is don't go to these islands. We had to cut that part of the video to save time, but people do visit those islands every day. So if you want to know what's up, check the description or ask in the comments. You could probably stay out here and do this all day, but we really want to show you guys a little bit more, so we're gonna head back to shore and pack up these boards.
If you guys enjoyed that tidbit of information, make sure you hit that like button. Now we're gonna make our way back to town.
Kailua has some great restaurants. For the most part, just roll the dice and you're bound to land on a good one. Some easy options that we've touched on in other videos. Lanikai Juice and Morning Brew are really easy if you're looking for something really quick. Buzz's Steakhouse is a really great option for dinner, and it's right next to the beach. There's also The Shack and a whole bunch of others that we haven't even gotten around to yet. In Kailua, you have 2 main shopping centers, Enchanted Lake Center and everything else that's around here by the Target, the Whole Foods, and the UFC gym. We covered the Kailua Town Farmers Market over at the Enchanted Lake Center, but that's not the only one. There's at least 4 other markets that we know of, all at different times and different days. But if you have a designated driver and you want to get a little twisted, you can hit some of the restaurant bars and breweries. Those are mostly going to be around this area near the Target. We have a video where we hit Lanikai and Maui Brewing, but our favorite spot was Grayson Growlers because it's self-pour. There is one other walking trail that's really popular for people trying to get some steps in. It's part of the flood control system that protects Kailua from the marsh that sits behind it. And if you're a golfer, you actually have a couple courses to choose from in this area, but the Olomana golf course is one of Spencer's favorites. One of our videos, we stopped in at their driving range. You probably would have noticed it off the side of Highway 72 between Waimanalo and the turn in for Enchanted Lakes.
Now, if you guys want one more hidden gem while you're out in Kailua, there is a mountain biking trail called the Olomana Mountain Biking Trail. Very cool mountain biking trail that traverses through some mountains over in Kailua. There are going to be probably about 30 different trails that break out once you get on that trail, anywhere from beginner to advanced. So be careful. We do have mountain bikes at the shop that you could come pick up. We will for sure be doing an adventure video on that. And once it's live, it will be linked down in the description.
And that is Kailua. Links to everything we covered in the description. We did not design this to be a series, but now it kind of is. So we're gonna keep making our way up and around to the North Shore, showing you all the best things along the way. Quick note on mopeds. This is about as far as we recommend taking them. We have had our moped riders take our mopeds all the way up to the North Shore, but
you have to be a bit of a juggernaut to want to do it.
So this one's for the juggernauts. Kailua and Kaneohe are connected by a few different roads, but our mopeds must use the coastal routes because the speed limits are slower and it's just a little bit safer. So make sure you leave Kailua using Kaneohe Bay Drive, turn right onto Kamehameha Highway and go straight through Kaneohe, past the He'ia State Park and boat ramp, and link back up with the main road at the intersection with the 7-Eleven.
If you want to see more of what the East Side has to offer, our next video will pop up here on this end screen when it's live. If you want to go back to the first video of this series, it will be the first video linked in the description. And if you want to see what comes next, well, you should hit that subscribe button.